Good morning, Keith. Good morning, Tim. Good morning, radio family. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I wanted to share a little bit about good Saint Therese of the Child Jesus and the Holy Face. Enjoyed the conversations on the Morning Joy show about Saint Therese a few days ago. Again, the church celebrates her feast on October the 1st. But if you follow the old calendar, again, the feast is today, October the 4th. And so this is the beauty of the church. It is full of rich treasures. It has two calendars that some people follow, the old and the new. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about Saint Therese and what Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen had to say about her. Now, we have to understand that Archbishop Sheen has a great love of Carmel. In fact, in 1948, Archbishop Sheen became a Third Order Carmelite, and he wrote about Saint Therese and truly enjoyed her spirituality. And of course, you can see a little bit of Saint Therese in Archbishop Sheen. There was a book penned a few years ago, and some of you may have read it. It's called The Whole World Will Love Me. And again, just beautiful stories of Saint Therese. And that is so true. I think the whole world loves Saint Therese. And I think almost the whole world loves Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen too. They both had a charism that was very likable. But I want to share with you today a little bit of Archbishop Sheen's writings on Saint Therese. He gave retreats in her honor. Of course, he spoke about her little way often. So, again, there was a book that was published, again, a few years ago, and it's still being carried by Tan Books. And it's called Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen, Saint Therese, A Treasured Love Story. And what this book is a collection of Sheen's homilies that he gave during a retreat in Ireland back in 1973. And again, Archbishop Sheen wanted us to learn from St. Therese. He wanted us to just embrace her spirituality and what she can teach us. And she really is, a saint for these modern times. We need her more than ever, and her holy example. We all know of her great slogan that she said, when I die and go to heaven, I want to spend my eternity in heaven doing good on earth. Again, I think, do we have that same zeal to say, do we want to do something for God? And that's what we can learn from St. Therese. She wanted to do things for God. And of course, that beautiful saying, do the little things well for the love of God, even if it's just picking up pins from the floor, simple tasks, do those tasks well for the love of God. But she is, again, this saint for our modern times. And she teaches us how to be saints today. I think this is the thing when we listen to her stories, where she would deal with her difficult religious sisters in her community, and she would just love them. Yes, there's going to be animosity in our lives. People are not going to like us, or they're going to be difficult. But yet, if you just put on love, wow, great things can happen. Great things can happen. So Therese is that example. Again, I encourage everyone to read Story of a Soul, these beautiful testimonies of those difficult times in her life. And, Therese had the virtue of hope as she wanted to enter Carmel early. There was age limitations set, and yet, at 15, she says, I want to enter Carmel. And she even went to visit with the Holy Father to ask him personally if she could have permission to enter early. And, Archbishop Sheen said, whenever you ask questions, be ready for three answers. One is yes, the other is no, and sometimes the third answer is wait. And St. Therese was willing to wait and have the patience, but she had that virtue of hope. And we have to uh, imitate that too. I mean, Saint Therese had that expectant hope that she was going to be in heaven. And there's that beautiful story of her. She was sitting on the porch with her father, and it was a very beautiful night sky. The stars were out, and she looked up to heaven and she saw the stars, and she could spell her letter. I would like to say, spell her name, the letter T. And I think she went to her Papa and she said, Papa, my name is written in heaven. I see the letter T there. Yes, my name's in heaven. I'm going to be with God forever. And she just had that childlike confidence. And yet, I think we can learn from that too. And I say many times in my talks on St. Therese um, this phrase, you were made for eternity. Now get used to it. Now get used to it. Therese had that. She had that down packed. She knew she was made for eternity, and she got used to it. She talked about, in this life, I'll be busy with the work that's in front of me. But when I'm in heaven, I'll be busy, but it's going to be the work of the Lord. And he's my master. And a master takes care of his servants. So she had this total trust. But again, maybe we can write that on our fridge and post it and say, you were made for eternity. Now get used to it. Get used to it. So there we go on that one. But again, she just had what I like to say. She knew the power of intercession. We're all called to pray. We've got a lot of work there, and we need to intercede and make reparation and trust in God. And this is what Therese showed. She prayed and prayed, and holy example for us. And of course, she prayed to the Holy Face. Her title is Saint Therese of the Child Jesus and the Holy Face. And her sister asked her to say, do you have a favorite? I know you have this beautiful title, Therese of the Child Jesus and the Holy Face. Which one do you like more? And she said, without question, I love the baby Jesus. I love the child Jesus, but my love for the Holy Face devotion is greater than that first love of the child Jesus. So she picked the Holy Face as her favorite. And of course, she is that beautiful example to us to take up this devotion. Um, when she was a young girl, her father enrolled her and her sisters in the Arch Confraternity of the Holy Face. And so she would have prayed all of the prayers, the chaplet of the Holy Face, spending time looking at the image of the Holy Face. She would have done all of those prayers every day. And of course, she was a great devotee to the Carmelite nun, Sister Marie de Saint Pierre, who received the revelations from our Blessed Lord about the Holy Face devotion. And so, again, she is what I like to say the poster child of the Holy Face. And again, she just shows us the way and says, have a devotion to the Holy Face. It's so important. And, we were made for spiritual battle. And this Holy Face devotion is about taking up our arms. We say, arise, O Lord, and let thine enemies be scattered. Let those that hate thee flee before thy face. So it is this battle cry, and we see pictures of Saint Therese dressed up as Saint Joan of Arc, and so we're all called to be warriors. And I think that's why this devotion was so near and dear to her heart, the Holy Face devotion, because it's all about battle, and it's about making reparation for all the blasphemies that we hear, taking the Lord's name in vain. I don't have to go there. I think you'll experience that today, I'm sure. But to make reparation for those blasphemies, God's holy day is being just put aside, and yet we can make reparation for that. So, and other people, like to say, is God number one? Sorry, I hate to say it, but it seems like he's number 5, 6, 7. It's lower on the list. So let's make the Lord's Day holy again. Let's put God first. And of course, let's again just give God praise, use our voice for good things. So, but again, there's good Saint Therese leading by example, and she suffered, and she united her suffering with the sufferings of Christ. And I think when we experience those sufferings, let us look to Saint Therese and say, she bore her sufferings with great patience and great love, but she knew that suffering was part of God's plan too. That was his way of dealing with her to say, to draw her closer to him. God wants our love, and sometimes he'll give us a sickness or a trial to get our attention. But of course, Saint Therese just bore that with great patience and love. And of course, she is a child of humility. She can teach us humility. We all need a little bit of that, I'm sure. And of course, she knows all about prayer, and she can teach us about praying. And yes, we know that we all may experience those dryness, those periods of dryness in our prayer life. And, St. Therese, she experienced those too. But yet there's that joy. And her joy is infectious, and I hope it spreads to your lives today in the little things and the big things as we travel our way through life. And so, again, good Saint Therese. Fulton Sheen loved her, spoke of her, and I think we all love her. And so, on this feast day today, on the old calendar, of course, I want to wish everyone a happy feast day of St. Therese, of the child Jesus, and the Holy Face. And so let us remember that. So take up the devotion to the Holy Face. You can find information about the Holy Face on my website at holyfacemiracle.com. And again, there are many miracles that are happening every day through the beautiful devotion of the Holy Face. And so, and good St. Therese has something to do with that. So, God love you, Keith. We'll talk to you soon.